Hello and welcome to my first PHP tutorial. I actually tried doing this once before, but nothing could be read because everything was too small, so I'm trying this again, and hopefully this will look better. I'm not recording my entire desktop, so I'm still getting used to how the what it records follows the cursor, but let's try this out. I'm going to be teaching PHP. Now, I'm going to assume, I don't need to do that yet. I'm going to assume that you have a program like XAMPP installed so that you can edit PHP and a text editor such as Text Wrangler. I'm going to assume that you have that all set up. If it's not too hard to set up. Literally just just search for XAMPP on the internet, install it, download it, and then open up the XAMPP control panel and start up Apache and MySQL. Then just type in your password and whatnot. I'll do right now. And once these two things are up, you can start coding PHP. MySQL is for the database, and this is for the actual PHP. And we're not going to be doing database yet, so if you just had Apache up, it would work. Now, you're going to want to save your files in, I have a lot of folders, but in htdocs and where a folder inside htdocs, and then in there. So I'm going to actually delete all these files. This was my last try. You can see I had other folders such as Hacker, which was a game I was working on, and all that kind of stuff. But let's close that down. But anyway, we're going to save all our stuff in here. So let's save a file, and let's not call it until text26. Not do that either. Come on. Thank you. Now let's save this. You're going to want to save it. The first page is always index.php. Always save it as that. Because if you're just navigating to the folder, your web browser will automatically go to index.php. So, first thing I'm going to teach you about is some basic HTML. And you're going to need this. I'm assuming well, I'm not assuming it, but you do want to know some basic HTML. Otherwise, PHP is almost useless, because you need to know some basic HTML so that when you're writing PHP, you can put stuff onto the screen and it will look like what you want it to look like. So I'm not a master at HTML, I don't pretend to be, but you do need to know it, at least the basics of it. So HTML is hypertext markup language. It's basically what web browsers use to view a page. So if you go to Google, for instance, you can say view page source, and okay, you know what, let's find a site that doesn't do that. Let's try Apple. And yeah, so this is what hypertext markup language looks like. Now this is a really good built, really complex site, but this is basically what it looks like. It's not too bad. And basically, everything that you do, every time you start up a web page, you start with HTML, like that, and then you have to close the HTML tag. So, so hypertext markup language, all your things are in tags. So that's the less than bracket and the right than bracket. Everything's in these tags whenever you're changing something, and the actual text goes outside of it. So to define the area which is actually HTML, which is what your page actually is, you do the less than sign, HTML, greater than sign, and then you have to close that with the same tag, a less than, slash, and the same tag. Now, a HTML document usually has two parts to it, and this is the head, which is what the browser reads. This is browser only. It's more behind the scenes. For instance, on the Apple site, in the head it has Apple as the tag for title, and so Apple shows up at the top on the tag, or on the tab. So if we did this, so you put a tag title on it, and inside the title tags, let's finish off the title. Now inside these tags, you could type whatever you want. So YouTube tutorial, or tutorial, whatever. I'm spelling this wrong, but whatever. And I'll put that there. Now if I navigate to this page, now it's on localhost, because I'm running it off my computer, and we just called it YouTube. You can see the title says YouTube tutorial, so that's what the header usually does. It also does behind the scene JavaScript to make JavaScript and stuff like that. So we're not really going to be dealing with the head, just know that you want to include it. And the next part is the body, and like the tag name suggests, this is where most of the content goes. So this is where the page actually goes. So I could say hello. So that's where the page actually goes. And then there's other tags such as table, font, and then there's just so many. Form we'll be using. There's a lot. And of course you have to close all these. There's a few exceptions to ones that you don't have to close, and they're kind of self-contained tags. For instance, this is one line. We'll type that in, and that's what the browser will see. We put in a tag. However, this tag has nothing in between. It doesn't go like this, because what the BR tag means is put this on a new line. So what you do is you put a slash and then a greater than sign, saying that it doesn't need any extra information. So we can do this, and then this is second line. I don't know, bad grammar, but who cares? Now if we load that up, you can see this is one line, this is the second, I should say the, but whatever. It's good, it's fine. Let's move that over. So you can see the tags, and then sometimes tags have even more data in them. For instance, the table tag is one of the more complex ones. It defines a table, and then you could actually add stuff to this, such as I want a border on my table, and you do that, and you add extra values to that, like this. And so just end the table. Now that will do nothing because there's nothing inside the table. So you need to define a table row, and then inside that table row you need to define column or cells, and that you do with these tags. So the TD is a cell, and the table row or the TR is a row. So we'll say hello, and so this will put hello in with a hello, and then we'll have another cell right next to it. I am awesome. So TD. Oops. Am awesome. And what that will do is it will create a small table like this. Like, oh, forgot to save. I'll do that. So there's different tags. We'll be using the form tag a lot, and this is this one. And what the form tag allows you to do is send data to another page, which you can then access with PHP. So such as the action is where it's going to send it. We'll just send it back to this page, even though we're not going to access it. And then how you're sending it, what do we get for now? Because we're not actually going to do anything with it. And then you do inputs, and like I was saying before, this doesn't need any extra information outside of what you give it. It doesn't really matter. So you do it like that, and what that would do is just, you'll see we get this, and you can type into it, and we'd have to add a submit button and all that, but we'll be getting into that later. But that's basic HTML. It's pretty much all you need to know, is that it's very useful. Now, if you don't put this body in HTML tag, it will work, but if you're making a big page, you want to put it in there, because you can do more with it. So that will wrap up the first tutorial, I guess. Really quick introduction to HTML, because we're going to kind of need it, but it's probably best if you know a few things about HTML before you do this. But if you don't, I'll try and explain it as I go along.